put the team on my back. I do it all for the family. Everyone think they can rap. Nobody ever gonna challenge me.
What's going on, guys? My name's Mark. For those of you who don't know me, for those that have watched me before, welcome back to the channel. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. So today we're going to be talking about the HGV then, how to get your HGV licence. For those that know me, you'll know that I've just passed mine a few days ago. It's something I've wanted to do for quite a few years. Finances and etc sort of stopped me from being able to do it. I got the money to be able to do it, and so I went and booked it, and I've done it now. I had the medical for quite a long time. I had the medical for about, I think, just over a year, maybe 2 years. I had the provisional entitlement, so I didn't have to do that as I came onto it this time, so I already had it. So I went straight and booked my theory test, and then obviously booked my practical training. Getting into it then, what do you need? The first thing you need to do is you need to book a medical appointment with a doctor. This comes with a D4 form from the DVLA. When you send off your provisional HGV entitlement, you need to send your D2 and your D4 off to get your provisional entitlement back. A couple of ways of doing it with the doctor's appointment. You can either go to your GP doctor, but I found this is very, very expensive. I was quoted by my doctor £160, or you can go privately. If you look on the internet, there's quite a few companies all over the country that do it, so there'll be one local to you wherever you are. Normally about £50 or £60, and that's your medical done for you. They give you the form back, and then you obviously fill out your HGV provisional entitlement D2 form. Put those together, send them back to the DVLA, and then you'll get your provisional HGV entitlement back in the post. Once you've got your provisional HGV entitlement, you can obviously then go to book your theory tests. Moving on to the theory tests, there's 2 theory tests you need to do, which is obviously hazard perception and your multiple choice, and then there's a CPC as well, which you can do module 2, which is also done at the test centre, the same place that you do obviously your theory tests. Hazard perception is about £11 unless it's changed, but I did mine not too long ago and it was £11. Your multiple choice is £26, and then your CPC module 2 is £23. Now, I believe you need to do your CPC module 2 before you can do your CPC module 4. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that that's how it is. You've got to do your CPC mod 2 before you can do your mod 4. The mod 2 I think is £23. Obviously you can do all your training, pass your tests, etc, but if you haven't got your CPC, once you get your licence, you still can't drive until, professionally anyway, working for somebody else or working for yourself, you cannot drive unless you've got your CPC. So it's something that you need to do. It's just as important as getting your licence, basically. So I've written everything down just so I remember. Yeah, CPC mod 4. You can either do this. You can either do your mod 4 before or after your test. Doesn't really make a difference. I mean, if you want to, once you pass your test, if you want to work straight away, then I'd advise doing it before. Or some places where you do your training, on the day you do your test, or one of the days in the week when you're doing your training, you can do your CPC then as well. Costs, from my research, about between £250 to £300. I think I paid about £260 something for mine. HGV practical test. Now your practical test is £115, unless you're on a Saturday, which I think it's about £25 more expensive, maybe a bit more. I did a Saturday test and I think I paid an extra £37 on top of what I'd already paid to my HGV training centre. I paid £1,287 in total for my HGV training, which was 5 days of training, 4 hours a day. I did it on the Tuesday, and then I did my test on the Saturday. So I did Tuesday 4 hours, Wednesday 4 hours, Thursday 4 hours, Friday 4 hours, and then on the Saturday they give you the option of 2 hours before you go out and do your practical test. I did about an hour, just because I didn't want to be driving for ages before I did my test. It worked for me because I passed my test first time. So I did my HGV training course at a place called British HGV in Cannock. Very, very good guys. So if you're local to the Midlands, Birmingham, Cannock, Lichfield, Wolverhampton, that sort of area, I'd definitely recommend checking them out. They are a bit more expensive than other companies locally, but to be honest, if you look at their reviews on the internet, that's what sold it to me, and that's why I went with them, because they've got so many 5-star reviews across Yelp, Google, Facebook, and it speaks for itself really. it's all good going with a cheaper company, but if you're paying for your test 2 or 3 times, then you may as well have gone for the expensive company in the first place. And you find a lot of the time that the bigger companies, the cheaper companies, they double man as well, so you'll only do 2 hours of driving a day, which works for some people, it doesn't for me, it doesn't for others. I wanted to get the full 4 hours just because I wanted to pass first time and I didn't want to be forking out and waiting. So it was more important to me to have the one-on-one training with somebody. It worked for me. I mean, I know of people that have done the double manning up 2 hours a day and they've passed first time as well. Just depends what you want, really. I mean, I had a quote from a company that I think it was £900 it was for the double manning, which was obviously £300-400 cheaper than what I've paid. But what I went with I was happy with, so it's personal preference and what you want, really. What else? Yeah, after you've done your test, you will have to apply for your digital tachograph card, which is £32. Obviously you need a tachograph to drive, so that's something else you've got to apply for. Apply for it as soon as you can after you've passed your test, because it can take up to 3 weeks for it to come in the post, as with the CPC card and your driving licence, it's all the same. Anything else I can think of? I think that's about it. The CPC card, I'm not too sure whether you have to pay for that or not. That's something that, because I've got my CPC booked this week, I passed my test on Saturday. I knew I needed it. I could have done it before, but I wanted to make sure I passed the test before I booked the CPC, because if I had to obviously pay for another test, I wanted to make sure I had the money to pay for the other test as opposed to pay for the CPC. I'm not rushing to get into work anyway. I am looking. Obviously I can't apply for anything at the minute because I haven't got my CPC card, but I work for myself anyway, so I'm okay. But once I've got it all through, I will be looking for work. I'll keep you updated on how that goes as well. Got quite a few things that I'm interested in going into as well, really. I do plan on keeping everything on this channel, keeping you all updated. Probably start with at least a video a week. You've probably seen other similar channels on YouTube, Luke C and HGV, CJ, CKFT, etc. I've watched them for probably about 2 or 3 years now. I've learnt quite a lot off them, so they are good channels, so if you haven't already, go and watch them. You can learn quite a lot from them, and they're very interesting as well. So yeah, what I want to get into, I do plan to do my class 1. I'm looking sort of October time to do my class 1. For now, I am interested in going into heavy recovery. I've also looked at the AA. That's something that I've heard mixed reviews about from people that have worked there, but it is something that I may look into. There's a few other local recovery companies that I've applied for as well in the class 2. That's something for now, and then obviously once I go into class 1, I'd like to go on to sort of long distance heavy haulage. That's my ultimate goal, is the long distance, because multi-dropping. I've drove vans for 4 or 5 years. I've done it all. I've worked for all the big parcel companies doing deliveries. I won't name them, but all the big parcel companies that you can think of, bar DPD, I've done them all. I've delivered sandwiches, making up to 50 deliveries a day. Multi-drops was not for me. It's half the reason that I wanted to get my lorry licence, because I didn't want to be involved with the multi-drop and getting in and out all day. It's a ball ache, to be honest. Yeah, so recovery, that's probably something that I'll go into, could possibly have work within the next few weeks if everything goes as planned. Yeah, so stay tuned to the channel. I'll keep you updated. Thanks for watching. Click the subscribe button if you haven't already. See you soon.
I put the team on my back. I do it all for the family. Everyone think they can rap. Nobody ever gonna challenge me.